I told myself I was not going to make another video until I put out something about all the Viper lineups that I figured out. And after 2 months of studying these lineups, optimizing these lineups, and procrastination, I think it's about time we go ahead and finish this whole experiment. Because, dude, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore, okay? So, hey, welcome to my Viper lineups video. We are going to start on the defense side of things. Defense is incredibly straightforward. Not a lot of interesting happening. So first lineup, you're going to be on A site. You're going to come up to this side of the wall and line up with around where the two windows should be. And if you line it up correctly, you do get a little bit of the corner. You can peek out from the wall there. And the exciting thing, the good thing is that it actually does block the windows. Ignore that little hole there. You know, you're not going to be pushed up that far, but it does block both windows. Very successful, very straightforward lineup. Second one is one that I found. It's honestly more of a cheese lineup than anything. We're going to come over to that corner lineup with the edge of the entrance there, and what this should do is when you pull up the wall, there should be a tiny little pocket that you should be able to see through at the top of the stairs or at the bottom. It does still cover the entrance for other members of your team, maybe holding behind the boxes or something like that, but it does give you a little bit of an advantage. And I would not advise doing this maybe more than 2 rounds because they're going to catch on eventually. Moving on to B site, very complicated. And, you know, obviously that's the easy part, but there is this wall that has been used quite often. I do see it. Line up with the 2 corners of the mid site there, and it's not really for B. It's for gaining mid control of short there, and allows other members of your team or you to push up further into mid, and you get a little bit of a pocket corner here. From the other side, it's a lot harder to see. I'll show you a little bit later right here. It's a lot harder to check that angle on the attack, which gives you a slight advantage on defense there. And of course, you can hold on other sides of the wall or do whatever you like there. So that's all I have for defense. Very short, very straightforward. We're going to be quickly moving into offense here. We're going to be starting on the B site. I have 2 walls that personally I find somewhat useful. These are both situational. The first one will be putting the wall up in front of the little box thing. I'm not really sure what you call it in all honesty, but what this will do is it'll cover both entrances, and although it doesn't cover the entire site, it'll help tremendously for retakes, and all you need really is the corner anyway. So if you don't feel like pushing any further out than around halfway in, that'll be the wall for you. Of course, you can move it a little bit further. You can still cover the archway for the retake, and this way it will cover the entire site. So you lose that wall for the flank if you are holding with an op in the window or something like that, but with the extension, it does allow your teammates to push a little bit further out onto the site. For this next lineup, I actually want to show you the end product before I actually show you how to do it. So it should land somewhere around here, and if it does, it will cover the entire retake entrance, or I guess it would be CT entrance. And what this will do is it will honestly isolate everything, only giving them one site to actually push from, and that would be from mid. So in order to do this, the first way you do it is, well, if your team already has control, what you're going to want to do is come up to this corner, line up with this block right about here, look up to the pipe right around here, you should see it, and then from the bottom of the pipe, line it up with this top wire right here. No jumping required or anything like that, and it will land exactly there. And even with the wall up, it's not exactly that difficult. Do the same lineup. You can still see a bit of the bottom of the pipe, line it up with that, and it should still work fine. Just keep in mind, toxin control, you're not going to have it up forever. Maybe if you're pushing in from mid, what you're going to do, this one is an extremely precise lineup, so I don't recommend doing it all the time. It'll be a HUD lineup. You're going to line it up with that little box right there. You'll see the little pointing arrow. You're going to want to point that in the corner of that box that I highlighted, and that should get you there. Or you can do it from the top. You can see you'll line it up with the very top of that little rock right there, and then go straight down into the second rock, not lining up exactly on it, just a little bit above it. Do the jump throw there, and it should land directly in the middle right there. And that'll be the second way to do that right there. And well, there it is. Moving on to middle here, we're going to be throwing an orb into the top window. So what you're going to want to do, line up with this rock right here at the start of the phase. I'll close up and do a circle here, and then line it up with the top of that leaf. You can do some weird diagonal shenanigans with that leaf, but I don't really do it myself. And at the start of the round, just do an immediate jump peak, and what this should do is land on the very top of the window. And what this will do is it'll completely cover the window. So coming into it, you can see that you just can't see anything from any side, nothing. And you're gonna have to jump down, which makes a very distinct audio cue, and you should be ready and have the upper hand on them there. And if you are not on the starting phase, it's really hard to get that lineup down. So what you're gonna want to do is come up into mid, go into this rock that I pinged, which makes it really hard to see it, honestly. And then what you're gonna want to do is look up to the top, line up with the topmost part of this little cloth here, and then line it up with this little thing right here. Just go straight left, and then do a normal throw, no jump throw required, and it should land exactly where you need it to be. Moving on to A site offense. There's already a lot of treaded ground here, so I'm only going to be showing off 2 lineups, but I think they work, and they both require this wall right here. So you're going to have to cross mid, do a flash or something like that, but just line up in this corner and put it towards the end of the site there. And what this does is it splits the site in 2. And on its own, you should be pushing for mid after placing it, so you get basically a free site there. But there is one flaw with the wall, and that is the fact that stairs, exist on top of the stairs. So you basically just get to see everything. The 2 lineups that we're going to use are there to stop this from happening. But I did want to show off this wall that a lot of people use, and I will just be honest with you, I absolutely fucking hate it. So what it should do is wall off here. You can see that it does completely wall off from the side, but what it doesn't do is do anything for anyone on the left side of the wall. It actually helps them out. I found that they take shots and then back up through the smoke into Ventamogas, and generally it kind of helps them more than it harms them. And even if they aren't standing at the top of the stairs, it does nothing for them standing at the bottom of the stairs. It actually helps prevent flashes from tagging them. Generally, I just don't really like it. So the first lineup we have to remedy this will be straight out of spawn. What you're going to want to do is you're going to see this little black dot right here. It's easier to see in game, trust me. You're going to jump on top of these tires, line up straight with that reticle while looking straight down, and then look up into the corner, and you're going to see this little circle rust spot. You're going to line your reticle up with that rust spot exactly, and then just throw it. And what this why do I keep saying should? And what this will do is land in the cubby right there, and as you can see, it will completely obscure the vision at the very top. My little guy right here, he is holding the right entrance, and the orb just completely covers him. If you're maybe walking super far right, you will be seen, but other than that, you should be good to go. Moving on to the second lineup here, you're going to be hopping on top of this box, look straight down, and line it up between those 2 leaves I point out there. This one you can actually set up pre-round, so please take your time on it. Hop up on the box and then look up on this disc. The thing that connects it to the fence, you're going to be on the far left of it, and then you're going to be making a little rectangle here with that right side of the fence there. Please pause it because editing me did not give you a lot of time there. But between the 2, do a quick jump peek there, and it lands on top of the stairs right there. And what this wonderful lineup does is it completely covers the stairs. Anyone walking through, anyone standing on top will be covered in smoke. and the top of the stairs are rendered useless. And when you combine the wall with that lineup I did, start out to spawn, throw the orb, then rotate out to mid, throw the wall, you will get this. You are able to push through mid and get a plant down completely for free, honestly. I really do like these lineups, and I hope you find some use out of them. Moving on to our final section of post plants. We're going to be starting off with the A site here. You're going to be moving into this corner events here. You'll see this little panel with little boxes on them. You're going to be going up to the 4th box right here. Look up, and you're going to see these screws. Move on up to the 7th screw on this left panel. Just do a quick crouch and throw. And what this will do is it'll place it right in the center of A main. People love to hang back in A main and watch the bomb from there. So this will be a quick and easy way to cut them off and get them to come to you. Switching it up to attack side, if for some reason you still have your smoke, you can use this line behind the box here, move on up and use these 2 flowers to the left. It's not an exact science, but just be closer to the top one. Get between them, line up with the flowers, and use this brick, the right side of this brick here, as a point of reference, and then just go straight up to the top of the wall and do a quick jump peek. And this will just land on this top platform over here that kind of peeks onto the entire site. As long as it lands on the platform here, it'll prevent anyone from rotating through CT spawn and, well, stop anyone from seeing from the 2nd floor. Moving on to the B site here, you're going to be coming out of vents, and in the middle of the ramp, you'll see this rock right here. Now move on up to the tiny rock to the right of it, and then line up your crosshair between these 2 flowers right here. Line them up between them, do a quick jump peek, and it will land on the right side of the pillar at B. And what this will do is it'll prevent anyone who's hiding in the back of sight from being able to peek archways at any meaningful angles. Unless they have a teleport or something like that, then they can still be on one of the rocks here. They can hide in this back corner, so just be on the lookout for that. For the mid lineup, you're going to want to go to the top of the ramp and view this little triangle of rocks here. Go on to the right part of the triangle rock, and then just look up to where the pipe and the wall match. Do a quick jump peek here, and this will actually help with the mid push. It'll land on this right side of the pillar right here, and it'll prevent anyone who's holding close pipe from seeing anything, and it'll push people maybe holding an angle like that to go into a more aggressive angle. And I'm not really, there's a lot, it's hard to get anything good on B, so this is the best that I can come up with. It's not really useful, but you know, it's there, so have fun with it or something. I don't know. Moving on to something that actually is useful, the snakebite lineups. So go on to the second to the last panel events here. Go onto this left circle here, do a quick lineup with this little line on the wall, and then just shoot at the very tip of the wall. That'll hit the middle, and then going up halfway between that and the little panel above you will get you the left pyramid right here. Trying to do anything on the right pyramid is a little hard because of this top platform here, so you can't do it in vents. But what you can do is exit vents right over here and look for this rock straight out of it. Go on down to this rock, turn around, and you'll see diagonally this rock to the bottom left of it. Line up with that, look up at this little dirty ridge right here, and then line that up with the bottom part of the window of this tower. Do the little math there, line it up between those 2, launch it, and you will get the lineup for the right pyramid. You can hit the other 2 lineups from this spot as well. But for this, we'll actually be using the big rock that we mentioned earlier, not the one diagonally from it. So go ahead and stand in the middle. We'll be using the same dirty ridge as well. And for the left pyramid, you'll be going all the way to the top of the flag here. Launch it there, and it will land. For the middle, you'll be using the big rock as well. Go ahead, line it up. You'll be using the same dirty ridge again. But this time you'll be at the top of the window instead of the bottom of the window. And this will land. And those are the 3 lineups in mid. for the lineups in a main, there is this one that is, in all honesty, been done to death by just about every Viper lineup video, so not going to go into too much detail on this one, but it is dangerous at times. So if you want to do it from spawn, we're going to be doing a bit of an intricate one. So go ahead and look at this rock that I point out right here. This is our point of reference. There will be one rock directly under it. Line up with the tip of that, and you're going to be looking up at these ridges here. Now, the ridges in between those little fences, I'll be counting those for the next two lineups. But for the first one, we'll be going on what is ridge 0, I'll call it. Go ahead, just shoot it at the very top of that. Nothing really special, and it'll land on the right pyramid here. Now, for the next two lineups, middle and left pyramid, we are going to be using ridges 3 and 6 respectively. Now, on ridge 3, you're going to be looking at this leaf right here. Go ahead and line up ridge 3 with the top of that leaf, like so. Fire, and you will get the middle lineup. For the left pyramid, just go on down to ridge 6, do the same thing, line up with the top of the leaf, and you will get middle and left as you see here. Once again, all three of these lineups are not exact science, just get them around where you need them to be, and they should work. For our final lineup here, we will be right outside the window of B here. You'll see this little plank, aim at the very bottom of it, and you'll see this little brick extruding out. Go to the left side of that, and then start going up, and you'll line up with this second ridge thing, very bottom of that, and go ahead and fire it there, and it will land to the right side of the pillar, usually where you plant the bomb. And it's not an exact science. It doesn't have to be extremely precise, just somewhere around the calculations, and it should get where the bomb is going to be. And of course, it is right next to the window here, so you can go ahead and do a very quick lineup, as you can see here. Like I said, does not have to be exact, and go ahead and peek from the window right after. You can see that it's over towards the left of it, but it still does cover the entire bomb there. And you can go ahead, if you don't peek, it's too dangerous to peek, you can go ahead and fire both of them and just wait. And at the very last instance, just take your shots or whatever you need to do. So, that's it. Yeah, 2 months of work was put into this. I was constantly looking for new stuff, and this video would have been much longer if I had all the useless tech that I found. But I wanted to just add something to the Viper game. There's not a lot of Viper mains still, even after the buff. So despite this not being anything like any of my other videos, no haha funny comedy, I just wanted to put this out there even as late as it is. And then just, give something back to the Viper mains. Give us a fighting edge, because this map is large, and honestly, it sucks. No cap. I don't like the map, but I spent a lot of time on it. So if you liked the video, please be sure to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. If you didn't find anything useful in this video, well, you're probably just a Silver main. Sorry to tell you. See you.